assessment is 30 days past due. Pay the fine immediately or face further legal action.
I understand your position, but you need to look at this escrow file. We are compliant.
At 6:12 a.m. my driveway looked like a crime scene, orange tickets slapped on every windshield, a tow truck idling by my front steps, and a guy in a neon vest sipping coffee like this was a show. Cold air bit my face. The smell of wet asphalt mixed with burnt espresso. My security lights were still flashing from the motion sensors. I counted fast. 17 cars. My sister's SUV. My contractor's van. My neighbor's teenage kid's little hatchback. All tagged. All threatened with towing in 30 minutes. Then I saw her at the curb, arms crossed, smiling like she just won a prize. Linda from the HOA board. The one who waves at you with only 2 fingers. This all started because I hosted a family brunch the night before, May 3, 2024, ending at 9 p.m. No loud music. No street parking. Just cars tucked neatly in my long circular driveway like polite guests. But Linda had been itching for a fight since I moved in. So yes, this was exactly what it sounded like. HOA posted tickets on every car in my mansion driveway, then I pulled the escrow file. That was the whole battle. My own private driveway, on my own property, and an HOA acting like it owned my land. Linda walked up and said, "HOA rules say no event parking." I said, "This is my driveway." She said, "You're not special." The tow guy cleared his throat like he hoped I'd cry. I tried to handle it like a normal adult. I called the HOA manager at 6:19 a.m. straight to voicemail. I emailed the board at 6:22 a.m. I even walked across the street to my neighbor, Mark, who used to be on the board. He peeked through his blinds like I was the police. He whispered, "Don't poke Linda. She'll make it worse." At 6:35 a.m., I showed Linda my property survey on my phone. She squinted like the lines were written in alien code. She said, "Surveys don't matter. The community matters." Then she had the nerve to step onto my driveway and stick another sticker on my contractor's van, right in front of me, like she was labeling leftovers. When I asked for the rule in writing, she said, "Read your welcome packet." The tow guy started hooking up my sister's SUV. My sister cried. Linda smiled wider. That's when my stomach went hot and my hands went cold. I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a power trip. So I drew my line. No yelling. No threats. No dumb tricks. Proper channels only. I told the tow guy, "Stop, I'm paying under protest," and I paid $200 in release fees just to keep my guests from losing their cars. Linda watched me sign like she was a judge. Then I went inside, shut the door, and started building a case. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I printed the ticket stickers. I saved the tow invoice. I pulled my doorbell footage of Linda walking onto my driveway at 6:14 a.m. I made coffee, sat at my kitchen island, and said out loud, "Okay, Linda. If you want paperwork, I'm going to drown you in it." By noon, I requested public records from the county and asked my title company to send my full closing package. My hands were shaking, but my brain was calm. At 3:18 p.m., my phone buzzed. The title rep emailed back and said, "Found it. Your escrow file is attached." I opened it like it was a treasure map. And there it was, the missing weapon Linda didn't know existed, a recorded parking variance and driveway use agreement signed years ago, tied to the property, approved when the home was built. It wasn't some secret favor. It was filed, stamped, and legal. The next morning, the public records packet arrived too, and the file landed with 63 pages. In those pages was proof the HOA could enforce street rules, not private driveways beyond the curb line. Linda had been bluffing the whole time. I didn't storm into her yard. I didn't egg her car. I did something better. I set a meeting. The next HOA board meeting was May 10, 2024, 7 p.m., at the clubhouse. I walked in with my binder and my calm face. Neighbors stared like I was bringing a live snake. Linda sat up front, smug, tapping her pen. I asked to speak during open forum. The room went quiet except for someone's phone camera clicking on. I placed a copy of the recorded agreement on the table and said, "This property has a driveway use variance on file. Here is the county stamp. Here is the survey. Here is your own community map." Linda laughed and said, "Nice try." Then I slid forward my timeline sheet. Timeline item 1, April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Timeline item 2, May 3 at 9:12 p.m. complaint email about too many guests. Timeline item 3, May 4 at 6:14 a.m. you entered my driveway and posted tickets. People started whispering. Someone snorted a laugh. Linda tried to spin it. She said I was intimidating the community. Then the HOA manager finally spoke, looking pale. He admitted they never checked the county record. The board's lawyer, on speakerphone, asked Linda if she ordered a tow onto private property without verifying authority. Linda stammered. I stayed polite and said one simple thing: patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. That line landed like a brick. The room went dead quiet, then phones came up higher. A neighbor in the back muttered, "Oh my God, she called the cops on him too?" Linda's cheeks went blotchy. The board voted right there to void the tickets, reimburse my $200, and suspend enforcement actions until they reviewed all complaints tied to Linda. 2 days later, a police officer showed up at my door, not for me, but to ask about the false trespass call Linda made last month. The authority finally flipped, and Linda's power shrank in real time. After that, the neighborhood changed fast. People who used to dodge eye contact started waving again. Mark brought over a plate of cookies like it was a peace offering. A mom on the corner thanked me for standing up because Linda had been tagging her son's bike as trash for weeks. The HOA sent an email apologizing, and the board announced Linda was no longer allowed to lead enforcement or contact towing companies. A month later, she resigned for personal reasons, which is fancy talk for everyone saw the receipts. The best part? My driveway was quiet again. No stickers. No threats. Just clean stone, morning sun, and the sound of my sprinklers ticking like little applause. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.